And we are live. We are alive. Back once again. I know it's been a little while, but it's now coming to the flow to be here. Live streaming once again in service to you and to just have some fun. Because that is also why I do what I do. Because it's just fun to. Where your highest joy and your highest purpose are one. That's the state, that's the experience we arrive to. Perceive of no difference between that which is of your greatest joy and that which is of your greatest gift. Love what you do what you love. 9 powerful self-reflection questions. So, a little news. I just recently joined a men's group. I've never done anything of the sort before, and I'm super excited for this. I've gotten the chance to connect with this tribe, and I've manifested this. I've manifested a community of conscious beings, those that have an interest in serving, those that have an interest in connecting. These are the types of experiences and environments that we've been creating in the Ascend Academy, but I've been yearning for some in the flesh connection, and that's what this men's circle is. It's a group of individuals that have an interest in being their highest selves, to embody what healthy masculinity looks like, and to support one another, to be in a space of supporting one another in this. So, as a little bit of an initiation and intro into the group here, um, what they've actually given me and all the new members of the group to do is go through a set of reflection questions, and I've just had a read through of them. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at them now, and I saw them and I said, wow, these are some powerful questions. You know what? Why don't I take a video to answer these opposed to writing it down? I can speak through them. This was at first just going to be something I was going to do for myself, reflect out loud. And then that transitioned into deciding, maybe I'll record it and post on the YouTube channel. And then that transitioned into, I haven't done a live stream for a while, so why don't I hop on and bring some energy live to the family that brings to me their amazing energy when I take this opportunity to share. So anyways, let's jump into these questions. I hope these are questions that you join me along in. Again, there are some powerful questions, so I do want to dive in. But of course, the intention here is to bring forward to you the questions that you can reflect on. So I will be answering them myself. I won't spend too long on my answers, just because I do want to get through each of the questions and give you the space to reflect on it yourselves. So let's get going. Question number 1 is defining healthy masculinity. What does healthy masculinity mean to you? Healthy masculinity to me means taking ownership for your circumstances, for how you feel, for your state of being, not attributing the causes in your life outside of yourself, meaning not saying that this thing, this situation is causing for me to feel or be this way, taking ownership for how we feel and how we act entirely, recognizing that this is 100% within our domain of control, and as well as how this pertains to taking ownership for your circumstances, realizing that the situation that we're in is ours. We create that. We make the choices that we do that result in the realities that we create. And now this of course goes beyond just the actions that we take, but the thoughts that we allow, the thoughts that we fuel. This is all a part of our power and our ability to choose, to create. And healthy masculinity to me is taking ownership for that. It also means respecting others, and being in service to something greater than yourself, contributing to something beyond what you get out of it. When I think healthy masculinity, I think of a king, a real king, a king that shows up for others, not just for himself. A healthy masculine, a masculine embodied is a king in service. Question number 2, showing up in conflict and stress. By the way, for those of you in the live stream here, if you have answers to these questions too, you know what? A good idea here for me, uh, type out the question. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So, those of you in the live stream with me, if you feel called to join in on the conversation, answer these questions. One, of course, for yourself, but two, if you want to jump into the comments, we'd love to see your energy and what you have to share. Question number 2. As a man, how do you show up when, as a man or woman, how do you show up when the going gets tough? When the outside world starts turning in on you? When stress ramps up, how do you respond? How would you like to respond or remember yourself showing up? So definitely something to consider, how you find yourself, being brutally honest with yourself, need be, about how you show up when the going gets tough. But I'm going to jump ahead, although this is definitely a reflection that I want to partake in as well. But I think more importantly, for the live stream at least, is that I jump ahead to that final question. How would you like to respond or remember yourself showing up? In my highest, when the going gets tough, I hold faithful. I hold faithful that things get better. I reside in the knowing that nothing lasts forever, that this too shall pass. And I don't let that situation bring me down, because I stay rooted in that knowing. For it's in being in that knowing that the circumstances don't feel so difficult, because I believe it's our resistance to our experience that really makes things feel tough. Now, of course, there's something to be said about the challenges that we face on the surface. But what makes these challenges feel difficult, I would say, is our resistance to them, our resistance to our experience. And so, by being in that trust that this too shall pass, by remaining faithful, one is able to approach that challenge with greater grace, greater ease, and more effectively. Because in that state, we're more tapped into our intuition, to our heart center that will guide us in making the highest decision. In emotional ease, we make greater decisions and we face our challenges head on. We don't shy it back, we don't shy away, we don't deny them. We stay true to the experience that we're in. We don't bypass them. But the way that we'll handle and approach that challenge is going to be so much more powerful. We're going to be so much more effective if we maintain that state of equanimity. That's how I would like to show up in times of conflict and stress. And I invite those of you in the chat support yourself in reflecting on these questions. But of course, we'd love for you to support each other. I would love to see you all support each other, us to support each other, and sharing what comes up for us. Okay. Question 3, as soon as I post this one on YouTube. Question number 3. Self-love. In what ways do you show your self-love? What practices do you engage in to cultivate joy, peace, and harmony in your life? What does self-love mean to you? How do your idols express self-love? Why do you feel the expression of self-love is important? All right, I'm going to actually post the question before I begin to answer it. What does self-love mean to me? So again, there's quite a bit of different questions here that fall under this. Rather than spend too much time talking about my experiences, although I think I'll touch on them a little bit. I'd love to answer, firstly, the more general question: what does self-love mean to me? Why do I feel it's important to express self-love? Self-love's the center of it all, family. Love for self is love for all. You can't give what you don't have for yourself. You can't give what you don't have for yourself. To love another, to truly love another, we must love ourselves. That's it right there. Self-love is accepting yourself in your entirety, letting go of judgment of yourself, being entirely okay with who you are, what you've been through, how you're feeling. Love is acceptance, and self-love thus must mean self-acceptance. This is important because our joy, our sense of joy rests upon this, relies upon this. Being in joy, being at peace is fundamentally intertwined with loving yourself. Being your highest for others is fundamentally intertwined with loving yourself. If you have love for yourself, I had a friend once say, Love yourself so strongly that that love for self emanates from you into this world. I forget where I first heard that actually, but that really stuck with me. Let self love emanate into the love that you share with others. We're going to keep going here. Question number 4. Ooh. Question number 4 is fears. What are your deepest held fears in life? What do you think this is emotion is trying to teach you? Just getting that one written down for you all. What are my deepest held fears? Are we going deep today on a live stream? On a live stream? What are my deepest held fears? Ooh. This one I'll get a little bit personal because I believe authenticity and openness and transparency is our greatest gift to others. It's in being authentic that we give our greatest gift. One of my deepest held fears is not living up to not living up to the vision that I have for myself, the vision that I have for the life that I want to give my family, for what I want to do for the world, not living up to my potential. I fear not being what I know I can be. And so in experiences in which I perceive of or I create the judgment or I make the judgment that I'm not being my best self, which would mean I'm not being my best self because if I was being my best self, I would know. There would be no doubt. As my best self, there is no doubt that my highest is what I'm expressing. And so, what is this emotion trying to teach me? Well, one thing I'll say is it's trying to teach me to be my highest self. I think there's a little bit of a bittersweetness to this that if I feel this fear, it may be suggesting that I don't believe that I'm being my highest self. And that emotion may very well be there to support me to bring it back. That's what it's trying to teach me. Be your highest self. Be your highest self, and you'll have no fear that you won't be because you're proving to yourself that you can and you will be. Huh. Some powerful self reflection going on here, family. I like that one. I liked how that one panned out. Let's keep it flowing. Question number 5. Emotional bypassing. Emotional bypassing is a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developed tasks. Sometimes we feel on a spiritual path it is not okay to feel negative emotions, or we don't want others to think we feel them. Does this show up at all in your life? Let's get that question written down for you guys. Does emotional bypassing show up in my life? Again, just to recap, emotional or spiritual bypassing, using spiritual ideas to disregard and bypass emotions, inner conflicts, wounds, areas that may be needing trauma, areas that may be needing of attention and resolving, addressing. Um, yeah, yes, I admit it. I admit it. I definitely bypass. I'm getting better. I'm definitely getting better at this. But I've definitely I can admit to, or I've come into this awareness that when I am feeling something, I sometimes want to deny that I'm feeling that. And it can cause for this numbing, this sense of numbing where trying to convince myself that I'm not feeling the way that I do causes for a numb feeling where I'm not perhaps feeling or as fixated on the emotional pain or the emotional charge, but it doesn't feel good. In fact, I would go as far to say that I certainly actually think that feeling that emotional charge actually feels better than feeling numb. I think apathy is lower on the emotional scale than emotions of sadness or anger for sure. Um, so I think it's actually a drop in frequency, being in apathy, being in a sense of apathy, not caring or not numbing out. So yeah, definitely again, sometimes this idea that I should be better than this. I'm better than feeling this way. Now, this, I believe, serves us to a degree. And that's why talking about this is a little bit tricky because you are better than feeling anything less than joy. I am better than that. I do believe that. I'm capable of that. And I think it's important that we believe ourselves to be capable of residing in joy at any moment, in this moment. So on one plane of thought, it's a positive thing. It's something that serves us to say that, I don't need to feel this way. I can feel better right now. But as the question is pointing us to, and it's a great question, bypassing can have a way of leaving things that need attention, that are being asked for attention, and need attention to be fully resolved, to stay held within. And you may temporarily experience a a period in which that issue, that wound isn't in your conscious awareness, but it's still there. It's still there. It's still playing into how you feel. It's still causing, it's still playing influence in your state. And you just may not be conscious of it. And so that's why it's important that we don't bypass our emotions and our traumas. Because if we do, you best believe that they're going to resurface. Because until you give them the loving, healing awareness that they're calling for, they will continue to reside within. I do sometimes bypass. I'm getting better at being true to how I feel and honoring how I feel, accepting how I feel. And that's what I'll leave off with this question. It's acceptance of these emotions. It's in bringing your awareness to these emotions energetically and the sensations that accompany them. that we process them. I'm getting better. All right, let's keep it going. Wow, you guys are getting in on my deepest, darkest. Question number 6. How we doing for time? Oh, we looking good. Question number 6 is, oh, I'm gonna like this one. Feeling alive. Define what it means to feel alive. And then make a list with the following statement. I feel alive when. Oh, gonna be fun. Questions in the comments. Thank you for those of you that are joining in on the discussion. I see you. We see you. You shining your light serves us all. Keep shining, family. That's what we're here to do. Is to support one another, to grow within ourselves and support one another. Let's do both. What does it mean to feel alive? I love this question. I love this question because actually, if you may have caught it a few weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe, um, I had a calling work session with a good friend of mine, Tara Long. And to make a long story short, the the product of this session, this calling work that she does, is a statement that goes as such. My calling is people experiencing blank, blank. My calling is people experiencing blank. And she works with you to arrive to a word that invokes in you the greatest sense of resonance, suggesting this is your calling. Your calling is the experience of blank, and what you're being called, your purpose revolves around your experience of that, as well as, and this is intertwined, people experiencing that, because you being in that state is what allows you to support, which naturally allows you to support others in being in that as well. And so the reason why I bring this up is because my calling is people experiencing aliveness. So what a perfect question for me. What does it mean to feel alive? I heard it feels alive. That's the word. That's it right there. That's the center word for me. Nothing else. You can't define the word that defines it all for me. Alive. No, that's not. There's more. There's more. Feels vibrant. Feels exciting. Feels joyous. Feels alive. I did it again. Feels fun. Feels energizing. Passionate. Fiery. Loving. Appreciative. I'm just listing all my favorite words at this point. When we feel alive, our experience pops with greater vibrancy. We pop with greater vibrancy. We feel more energized. We're in the flow of doing and being everything we want to be and do. Life just becomes a gift that we get to play in. We welcome it and embrace it as, see it as the gift that it is, a gift of our creation, of freedom, of power, of ascension, of becoming whatever you want to become. Remembering that you are the infinite, of infinite potential. Remembering that you're pure, beyond limitation, the creator of it all. When we're alive, when I feel alive, I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I know that I'm free. I know that I'm here for a reason. And I'm playing in this world that I create. I feel alive when I am serving. I feel alive when I am present. I feel alive when I'm connecting. I feel alive when I'm in a deep, meaningful, I'm bringing awareness to a deep, heartfelt, meaningful connection. When I'm seeing another, oh, that's a good one. I feel alive when I see, when I witness those in front of me. I honor them. Seeing with greater clarity right now. The most alive I ever feel is when I'm seeing you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. When I'm seeing the other that is me. When I'm seeing one for what we really are, as the one. That's when I feel alive. Next question. We got two more. Question number 8. Embody greatness. Who are 3 people that inspire you? They can be dead or alive, an athlete, family member, spiritual teacher, whoever resonates most with you. What are 3 qualities that you want to embody from them? Envision your future self embodying those characteristics. What does it feel like to envision yourself and expressing each quality in your life? 3 people. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna, for each of the people, I'll think of one quality. All right. A question written for you all. There are 3 people that are you. Okay. Person number 1. Okay. The first person that came to mind. Let's find out if she's with us. Has to be my divine compliment. Amanda Pham, aka Little B. Are you with us, B? She inspires me. And she's probably heard this time and time again, though. I have a feeling she's not going to grow tired of it. But the one quality that always first comes to mind when I'm asked this question or this question comes up, what about my partner do I love? Is her generosity, her selflessness. She, more than anyone I've ever met, chooses to put others, the needs and wants of others, before herself. Now, I will say before I go further into this, you can't pour from an empty cup. So I don't necessarily, I'm not saying that this is about disregarding your own wants and needs. Okay. I don't think that's not the point that I'm pointing to here. That's not the message I'm conveying. The message I'm going to convey in that this is a quality that I see in her and that I wish to embody to greater degrees is that ability to the place that you must be in order to do so, in order to be so attentive and considerate of others and just constantly, consistently thinking about and being considerate to how others are feeling and how your decisions, what you do or don't do, may impact them and their experience. The place that you must be in order to embody this is a place of wholeness. We must feel full and whole within ourselves in order to do this truly. Now, there is something to be said about people who are overextending themselves to the point where they're not doing their greatest service, right? If we are giving from a place of emptiness, well, again, you can't give what you don't have. So I do see some people getting caught in this trap of trying to give what they don't have and ending up remaining feeling empty. But I want to bring it back to the quality that I wish to embody. And it's again this sense of selflessness that comes from a place of fullness, wanting to give to others, being truly in alignment with feeling good about giving, feeling good in the giving. That's our high state, a state of giving and receiving, in oneness. To give is to receive. Little B, you inspire me to be giving. Person number 2. You know what? Yeah. You know, I'll give one more. At least one more. It's funny because all the people that I can think of that inspire me, when I think about what inspires me about them is that they are in service, that they are actively inspiring others. Okay. Person number 2 is a man that goes by the name of Kevin High, a man that I haven't gotten the chance to chat with for far too long. Mr. High, if you ever come across this, I want you to know that you've had a profound and positive impact on me. Kevin was the team lead at the corporate gym that I was working at a couple years back. Well, 3 years back now. And man, he was a leader. Man, he was a leader. A leader that people respected, a leader that people looked up to, a leader that was able to inspire others because he was leading by example. He embodied what he was supporting and guiding others into. And that's the only way that we can truly guide someone somewhere. If we embody the qualities that we seek to support them in actualizing within ourselves. See, we can't push someone somewhere. We can invite them into the space, into a frequency that we reside in. That's what it means to be a leader. Embodying the traits within yourself that practice what you preach. That's the quality right there. Being a full embodiment. I guess the quality that I'm trying to embody is all the qualities that I'm trying to embody here. um, but this is what comes up. So this is what's relevant. Practice what you preach. Be an embodiment of what you know to be your highest self, what you know to be the sort of effect that you want to have on others. Should we go one more? You know what? We're gonna answer these questions fully because I think there's only one more left. So I will answer the question fully. That's another quality I'm trying to embody. No half-ass in it. Person number 3. Again, it's just people in service that are popping up. People that are serving on a high level. Okay. The one that came to mind was, you all might be familiar with him, Muji. Muji's a spiritual teacher, a world-renowned spiritual teacher. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. Go look him up if you haven't ever come across this stuff. The sense of peace that this man resides in, that he must reside in the energy that for him to project the energy that he does. Again, going back to the quality of Mr. Kevin High, you must embody that which you are an embodiment. That which you put out is in direct alignment with what you're embodying within yourself. And so here's how I know that Muji resides in a sense of peace beyond just seeing that. You feel it. You feel the energy that he expresses, that he conveys. And when I listen to him talk, it invites me into that. I feel a sense of peace in receiving, being receptive to the energy that he's sharing through his guidance, through just witnessing him even. I find myself come into that within myself. And so again, that can only mean that he resides in that. And so what inspires me about him is where he is in the frequency that he resides in, that sense of equanimity and peace that he resides in. I see in the comments some love for Muji. Let us all just shine some love to Muji. Wherever you are, whenever you're hearing this, let us all just, I know he's feeling into this well before we even talk about it. Let us all just send the beautiful soul of Muji some love. Good job, family. Thank you for joining me in that. That's a quality that's of the truest quality that I'm intending on embodying to great degrees. Being in a sense of peace. That's it for question number 8. Our last question. We got through this. I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to get through it in time. I was a little concerned that I would talk too much, but we are going to get through this on time. Question number 9. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Question number 9. My best year. To have the best year of your life, what would need to happen in the next 12 months? How do you want to feel on a daily basis? Let's get that written down for you, family. Final question. There we go. Okay. Once again, I want to give a shout out to all of you that are in the comments here, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, sharing with us your responses. We thank you. What would have to happen in the next 12 months to be your best year? Okay, so this is a little bit of a tricky question. It's a little bit of a tricky question because I've very much been in a space where it hasn't entirely felt relevant to think about what I want to happen in the future. Now, I have a vision and I will share. I always have a vision for what I'm feeling called to experience and create, but I let this be malleable. I let this be malleable in that I'm not attached to it panning out a particular way, or I seek to not be attached to it being a particular way, going a particular way, because I believe that it's going to be better than imagined. And so it almost feels limiting. It does feel limiting to try to think too much about that future outcome that I want because I've started to realize that if I just make the most of this now, did we just lose connection? We still here? I think we might have lost connection on Facebook. YouTube still seems to be running. Let's just double check we're still online. Oh yeah, we're still good. Right. So as I was saying, um, thinking too much about what is wanted in the physical, I feel like can actually limit us because being in our highest experiences rest upon the belief that we are in our highest experience. And in our highest experience, we are present with this now moment. We are immersed in enjoying this now moment as fully as we can and being and doing that which we feel most highly inspired to be and do. And this doesn't necessarily need you to think about what you want to happen 12 months from now. Now, with that being said, I do believe there's also the plane of thought of playing that game of looking at your life, looking at this linear experience of time, and having fun in the envisioning of what you want to happen. Just don't be attached. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what am I feeling inspired to experience this year? What would make this the best year of my life? The Ascend Academy. The Ascend Academy is serving. The Ascend Academy is uniting. Through the Academy, we're coming together and enjoying the connection that we are in. Now, this is happening, but for this to be, you know what, it has been the best year of my life, and I know that not many can relate to that, but I'm just going to describe what feels like the best it can be. because this has been happening, but more is coming, more is unfolding. It gets better from here. Perfect gets more perfect. We're enjoying the connection that we're in. We're having fun connecting in the gatherings that we meet for. Those that are involved are benefiting from it. You can feel the sense of elevation vibrationally, but then also I get to know that those that are involved with the program and our community are being supported by it. We're coming alive. We're being activated. We're ascending. We're 5D now. We're in oneness now. We love ourselves. We love each other. We're having fun. For this to continue to be the best year of my life and for it to become a better year than it already has been, all of this is happening to greater degrees. And I've come into a mode where I'm selflessly giving, residing in a sense of abundance, knowing that there's nothing outside of me that I need. This goes into the second question perfectly. Didn't even intend on that, but how do you want to feel on a daily basis is the second part of the question. Um, as I share this, I encourage you all to tune into this vibration that is being channeled through me, because as I speak these words, I find myself coming into this frequency more deeply, and this is a transmission and an invitation for you to be in it as well. I feel alive. We're not going to talk about how I want to feel. We're going to talk about how I do feel, how we are choosing to feel right here, right now. I feel alive. I'm here. I'm present. I'm at ease. I'm accepting of all that this moment brings, and I'm just observing it and enjoying it as the witness. For I'm in my knowing that this is the perfect thing for me. This is my perfect creation, and I welcome it in fully. I'm allowing it as it is, and in doing so, in being so, I also allow myself a greater sense of ease, and joy flows more fully. I'm proud of myself, of all that I'm being. I honor myself for all that I'm doing. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us. We're ascending. We're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Let us remember this. Thank you for being here, family, with us on this planet during these beautiful times in our moment of ascension.